Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the cafe, the courtroom, the combination courtroom cafe. You know, once I'm done playing all the Ace Attorney games, I'm gonna have to come up with another joke. Well, maybe not, depending on what I end up doing. I guess we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Hopefully not any before then. Anyway, it is Thursday. I hope you're all doing well. And if you're not, well, I hope you feel free and able to just kick back, relax. While we continue on our journey. So last time we found out that some of the things run deeper than we thought they would. Like, we knew about Jean being in debt. Turns out that debt is to Furio Tigre, who himself is in a massive amount of debt to basically the mob boss of the city, the Bruto Cadaverini. And he basically answers to his granddaughter, who he gravely injured in a car accident. So yeah, there's a lot of layers to this debt owing cake. It's like, not only did the victim owe a lot of debt, and John owes debt, and it's a whole debt cake. It's like a 7-layer debt nacho dip. Nova has grilled cheese. Zoe says that model looks like it was made by a very talented artist. It was. All of my not made by me models were made by talented artists. I can say it like that because I am no artist. Boho. But yeah, we were about to get mugged by fucking Furio Tigre at the end of the last one. Both him and Jean, because Jean has to basically do whatever he says because he owes him so much money. But Gumshoe swooped in at the last second, saved our ass, so we were able to get away. Hopefully Gumshoe's okay. Hello, how you doing tonight, Lil Moon? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing alright. We're about to just hop right into this. Well, if I'm guessing correctly, we're probably going to hear a bit from Jean today about his version of events. How many trials left? Like, in this game, this is only the 3rd case. And I know there's 2 more after this, so we're, like, halfway through the game, I'd say. For this case, there's probably only this trial day and the next one. Like, I assume it's split up into 2. You cannot eat the croissant, Harriet. I'm sure Ron would prefer it if you didn't, but that's beside the point. You really think Ron would look good bald? I don't think he would. I think he needs to keep his Princess Leia buns. Anyway. Okay. Well, if that's not what you ordered, let me know what you actually wanted and I'll fix that up for you. I'm drawing furries. Good for you, Zoe. I love that for you. As long as you're having a good time at any rate. I asked for boba. You got boba. Why did you throw it at me? January 8th, 9:46 p.m. Jesus. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Zoe says, may I have an Irish coffee? Hold the blank. Do you want me to hold the coffee like usual? Is that what the blank is? Because why not? Fair enough, I guess. But if you're gonna order boba and then throw it at me, and then say you wanted boba, you have to order another, and you have to pay for it. No, hold the... Oh, okay. I get it. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggey. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Phoenix. So it says, may I get a honey iced tea? You absolutely can. What kind of tea, though? Do you want, like, black tea, green tea? Or do you want, like, a honey matcha type deal? You okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. TT. Oh, okay. Why don't I believe you? Because I don't have the Undertale music playing. But if I played the track that's actually called Determination, you would really think I didn't believe you. Because that's the game over music. It's nearly time, Maggey. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggey out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Yeah, maybe this'll help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me you don't remember this thing. Oh, is that the medicine? This. The topical ear medication. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. No, those are blue and have flowers on them. And it's not the poison bottle, because the poison bottle, is... this. Brown? Yeah, brown. This is the small bottle that turned up in Très Bien's kitchen a couple days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. What do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. I mean, that's probably good. If it's topical ear medication, then you probably wouldn't want your ear to smell weird. And then again, that's probably also not the kind of thing somebody would notice. Like, bro, your ear smells weird. You need to go to fucking ENT doctor? We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. Yeah, I think the color actually matches the... Well, it's green like the prescription bag. Whatever. For ears? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Small bottle refiled into the court record. The victim's ear medicine, found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have got something on the prints, but... Gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? Wear a condom, you got it! Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright, and his name isn't Zinniop. January 8th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggey Byrde.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Oh God, I need a sip of my own drink. This drink is not probably the best idea to be sipping at while I'm doing a show, but whatever. It tastes good. It's a sort of like sleepy time tea.
Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the best...
Jesus Christ. What you drinking? It's from a brand called David's Jesus Christ. David's Tea. I forget exactly what it is, but I want to say it's got a weird name. It's like Mother's Little Helper or something. And it's got like valerian and other stuff that I guess makes you sleepy. It tastes good. My aunt got us a little tea advent calendar for Christmas, but, you know, we got it after Christmas, so we couldn't do it leading up to Christmas. So I decided to have a tea per day leading up to my birthday. I'm behind by like 2 or 3 days. Oop. I had honey iced tea. Yes, I know. I made it for you. Anyway, let me try that again.
Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems.
Mark on the rim of the cup that shows the victim drank from it shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand.
Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
Amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it.
You've lost me already, Mr. Godot.
Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You gotta change with the times. That's one of my rules.
Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions?
You know the
You know the answers to these riddles?
The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here, he was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it.
Very well, let the first witness take the stand.
There he is, everybody. And you are... Oh, bonjour, everyone! Get ready for a lot of this. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Très Bien restaurant. Enchanté. Oh, damn! Bro, you caked up as fuck! You may be Armstrong, but you're also ass strong, too.
Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman?
Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am la perte and perky gentleman, no? Jean, let's be honest. The main thing that conventionally makes you look like a man is your facial hair. But of course, that's not a trait exclusive to men. Like, you could be whatever, man. You could be whatever. Like, I know of plenty of women who have facial hair. So, like, this could go any way. You tell us what you are, Jean, and we'll go with it.
on the day of the incident, you were in Très Bien's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur? Everything feels right.
Girl, stop hitting on the prosecutor! My job.
I mean, I have facial hair. I hate it, though. I mean, same. I mostly have, like, a few really dark ones that pop up every now and then. So it's not like I have a whole consistent, you know, I have la moustache et la fucking goatee. But, like, facial hair is not an exclusively masculine trait by any stretch. Anyway. Ha. At least HRT makes it grow slower. Oh, there you go. But it still grows. Ah, slapping the microphone. Well, at least the HRT helps with that. I'm glad to hear that it does. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Phoenix, would you really be intimidated by Jean? I mean, I would be if he was told to, you know, attack me, but kind of have the same as Godot, but with a mustache. Huh, okay. My really dark facial hairs that show up are on like my chin, mostly, and my second chin.
Very well, your witness, please, testimony.
God damn it.
Please tell the court what happened that day at Très Bien.
Oui, volontiers. He is very pretty, though. At Très Bien. Vinito la peine, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. Wow, a real red letter day for you. I remember I was experimenting with some new art déco that day. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what la old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, et la glaces, he would have seen everything in reverse, no? No?
A mirror?
Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror.
Girl, the cake!
And suddenly the mystery disappears. No, it doesn't. Girl. Okay, so this one is where the crime happened. From what we know, the old guy was like either sitting here or here. Like, if we're supposed to believe this whole mirror thing, then he was like sitting here? I don't... No. This ain't working. The other day I looked in the mirror and realized, wait, I don't got a double chin anymore. It's break time. Yay, break time. So is it a good thing or a bad thing to not have a double chin anymore? You don't have to answer. I'm just curious. I'm nosy. I'm playing this. Oh, that co-working game. Yeah, I've seen about that. I thought about getting it, but then I'm like, I'm not actually at my home desk enough to warrant actually getting it. Ironically, I think I would need that more at my actual job, and I can't do that. BRB downloads it to buys a Steam Deck, downloads it to my Steam Deck, and sneaks the Steam Deck to work. Yeah, that would go over real well. Anyway, like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yeah, set to your timer and seeing the little character working helps. Yeah. That's also kind of what... Jesus. It's also why I got into Spirit City Lo-Fi sessions, because you could have the character just sort of doing whatever. It was nice. There were only 2 customers in my restaurant. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Me, of course. La young man who died. And la other not so young man.
You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume.
What about the other man Maggey says she saw at the table? Yeah, you know, Zinniup. You also get currency the longer you work, so it helps. Saving up to make my little pet pink. Hell yeah, love that for you. Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? Guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. Remember, I was experimenting with some new Art Deco. You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic. And why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoture?
Oh no, Art Deco, it's a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing.
Oh yes, of course, that deco.
I was trying to achieve a more la effeminate look for my restaurant. Yes, because the pink wall, ceilings, and flowers everywhere was not feminine enough. I mean, suppose not. That's fine. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor. Okay. Having a large mirror between the tables. Okay, what I want to know and what I'm hoping to get out of this. Where's your fucking mirror now, bro? How big of a mirror are we talking here? Buff! Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high. Let's see if 1 meter is 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge. I was intending to install it on la ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Is there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. No, Phoenix. I don't think there was. Do we have a picture? I think we have a picture. That is not a picture. Well, this does not help. You can't see the ceiling. Not that it matters. I doubt a mirror on the ceiling would help anything. Anyway. Mais non, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Why not? Huh. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggey Byrde's testimonies. But... Objection! You didn't ask, right? You only have yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Très Bien the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. But we're gonna use this moment for an ad break. We'll be right back. Alrighty. Sorry about that. At any rate, we're back. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Très Bien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Huh. If you want to doubt someone, try to look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in the mirror.
Well, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. Oh, yes, oui, that is exactly what the old man was looking at. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Objection!
Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, right? Even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, trite. Yeah, not the hair. I do not have a top knot.
Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien, logique as one la day.
All of this was worth it just to hear Godot call himself an ungodly cool guy. Oh, God.
Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse. Oui. Hey, Nick. Excuse me. We should take a sec and think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. Then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. He saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, and everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? That clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Huh. Kinda hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but... You think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. That just makes the situation worse for Maggey. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. You just gotta dig deeper. No, I think I know what it is. I think a large mirror between the tables, for example. Sir. No, it's funny, we just looked at this. Sir, there's no mirror here.
Objection!
I think I did this wrong. I did this wrong. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence.
Huh? It does. I don't see anything contradictory.
Huh? Really?
Objection denied. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright.
Oops. Whoops, that didn't go so well. Okay, well, that would have made sense to me, but... I need to look at something. Show me what you got. No, because it goes back to the whole point of... Even if he was looking at it through a mirror. No! His whole ass eardrum was ruptured. So even if he saw it through a mirror and it looked like it was on his right side, that doesn't work. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's link back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? Got some candy. What kind of candy you got, Zoe? I hope it's good. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as his green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. A local candy called Bocadillo. Ooh, that sounds good. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. Made with guava. Ooh, that's good. At least it sounds good. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement, you see, monsieur. Now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Oh yeah, that too. You're supposed to eat it with cheese. Ooh. A specific kind of cheese?
Order, order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Objection.
Costeño cheese. Oh, okay. How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. I don't think I want to. Also, a local kind of cheese. Nice.
How he thinks.
You remember this, I presume? The I broke the vase sorry apology Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Costeño means from the coast. Makes sense. Exactly. The old man has one grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. What's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg?
Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. You hear? His left ear. Ha! Well, trite. Ugh. That's the worst, but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good. Oh, so you're saying I was supposed to do my old man voice with my Godot voice? No, thank you.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
It's soft and salty. Tasty. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at la plans of la restaurant. The mirror. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was in the middle of la restaurant, dividing the two halves. There was only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim. That was la seat at the table next to la victim's. That was where la old man was sitting. After la terrible incident occurred, I moved la mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problems with the explanation we've just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Ugh, I hate that guy.
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volontiers, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
The mirror, it was sitting in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? Damn it! I can't go one stream without hitting the options button instead of whatever I'm trying to actually do. Oui? Oui? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Objection!
Look who's talking, trite. Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things. But, this is my seat in the courtroom! Très Bien's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Fun fact, Armstrong's French is really bad. Yes. Yes, it is. I'm doing a better job of masking it than he is because I actually know some French. And my over-the-top accent is doing a lot of the work, I think. Unlike you, trite. I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there in the middle of la restaurant. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim. Oh yeah, if you know French, say something in French. Something in French. And where would that be? Oh la la, look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer.
Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once.
I attract the older ones too, you know, handsome. Shall I tease you too? I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. What, your coffee pot? I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. The judge is into it, clearly. Bien, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was la seat at the table next to the victim. That is where the old man was sitting. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? Mais, monsieur, it is obvious, no? You look at la plans, you will understand. La victim would have been reflected in la mirror like so. If you were sitting at la table next to him, you would see everything, no? So that's the seat old Seedy was sitting in on that day, when the poisoning happened. I hate that animation. What, you don't like Armstrong breasting boobily at you? The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim? No, which one then? Why does that seem kind of odd? Because it is odd. After that terrible incident occurred, I moved la mirror so it was not in the way. Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police? I mean, I don't like it. Okay. Oui, exactement. I carried it out of la restaurant then. You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself. What can I say? I know how to pick things up, handsome. Godot actually laughed at something.
Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it is possible. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong?
I look like the obliging type, no? But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
I touched nothing except la mirror.
Mr. Wright, is there something the witnesses said that doesn't match the crime scene?
Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on what exactly.
Ha! Suffering from a case of heartburn, trite.
Oh, I have just the thing for that. An oil with golden myrrh and Frankensteins? What? Fun fact, lifting gives you cake, so I believe it can. But only if you lift with the proper kind of form and stuff. Like, if you don't lift properly, you're just gonna end up hurting yourself and fucking up your muscles and your back and stuff.
Add a few drops to your coffee and voila, enjoy.
Focus, Phoenix. Breathe.
I need to ignore those two and just find some evidence.
It is pretty strange, though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggey didn't, and neither did old Seedy. Listen, I hate to be mean to the elderly, but if the mirror was there when the old man was there, I could absolutely see him running into it. And he would have bitched about it in his testimony, been like, ah, there was a gigantic mirror in the way and I ran smack-faced into it. Can you believe it? Young people just leaving all kinds of things right in the way where anybody can run into them. And the only logical explanation is there was no mirror inside Très Bien that day. Now I've just got to prove it somehow. Don't worry, Phoenix. I know how to do that. So what I did, the thing I did last time is what I probably should have done this time. Yeah, because if the old guy was sitting here... If the old guy was sitting here, he knocked his vase over. The vase isn't knocked over. He wasn't sitting there. He and Old Bag would be a match made in hell. New headcanon. They're very unamicably divorced exes.
Objection!
This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo?
In the ninth circle of hell. Yes. Yes, this photo very clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist. Ha! Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite. Rude! Fucking rude ass.
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo?
Look at this vase. It's not knocked over on the ground. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in this picture.
The vase? What possible connection does that have with this witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Wow, we actually have a use for this. Holy shit. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not in fact sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Très Bien that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu!
Objection!
Don't try to confuse the court, right? Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vates, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene.
Objection!
Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Girl, how can you growl at me and chug your coffee at the same time? I mean, I'm into it. What?
Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, we turn back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear?
Ha! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. You want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, trite? I do, because it wasn't. Then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggey told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. All flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. I feel like I'm coming up with something myself, but we'll see if the game's gonna point me in the direction I think it's going to.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. The ear doctor made a mistake. The victim was a phony. See, after everything we learned yesterday, well, like a couple days ago, yesterday in game, with about how Jean is indebted to the tiger and this whole thing, I started getting the inkling that everything the old man saw was some kind of setup. And this is really just driving that home for me. Like, maybe, you know, Tigre got all dressed up like Glenn. Maybe they got Viola to dress up as a waitress and, you know, pretend to do the poisoning. And that's how that all went down. Because, like, that picture that they show of the other waitress doing the poisoning, that looks way more like Viola's hair than it does Maggey's. So, like, yeah, because Maggey's is relatively short, and the picture of the waitress that we keep seeing from back definitely looks more like Viola's. So I think that everything that the old man saw was all just a setup. And the fact that that's an option here is really leading me to go with that. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony, pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there's nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Huh.
Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom.
Why, Gramps, why don't you clear out of here, huh?
What did you say?
Right, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. For all for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. He probably only remembers her, A, because he doesn't actually recognize her, and he just assumes that it's right. And B, he's a fucking perverted old man.
It's so hard to believe, but...
There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. See, it looks way more like Viola's hair. He must have taken off the head bandage for some reason. Oh, ad time. We'll be right back. Ad time. Anyway, we're back. All this to show Maggey Byrde in the act of poisoning the coffee. That's why this whole thing was... That's why the whole thing with the old man even got happening in the first place. To make a fake witness. To a real crime, but, you know, they staged the crime that had already happened. I'm assuming it must have already happened. Otherwise, why would they know what to do? Anyway.
Objection!
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story is a fake as well? Yes. It's true that there were no other customers at the restaurant at the time, but... It is also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. Yeah, and he's in on it. He's fucking in on it. That's all there is to it. He's in on it because he owes Tigre a whole shit ton of money. So he has to do what he says, including, you know, pretending not to know what's happening. Or letting them use the restaurant to, like, stage a fake poisoning. Whatever. He was in on it the whole time.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la, this is most difficult for me.
Objection!
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Bro, when does anybody give a shit about that? How many people have we had lie straight to our faces on the stand? Was there, in fact, a phony at Très Bien that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Lying under oath is a crime, though. Yeah, do you really think anybody in Ace Attorney gives a shit about that? No, they pretend like it's a whole thing sometimes, but overall, no, people just get away with lying. La victime, Mr. L, qui came to my restaurant alone. I remember la old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won la lottery, Monsieur L became very excited. I mean, wouldn't you? You just won $500,000? Like, what the hell? It was approximately 5 minutes later that la poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do la acting. Uh-huh.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oh, don't say that. He'd probably be into it.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. The victim, Monsieur L, qui came to my restaurant alone. Was he alone at his table as well? Mais oui, I saw him from la kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Byrde, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Objection!
Huh. Unfortunately for you, right? Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? Not coffee, it's love. It's a love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Oui, it comes in nothing for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip and nothing more. So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. I don't know, how many minutes after? So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived. Oui, that is correct. That still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. And by your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed? Let me see. Approximately 2 minutes, I would say. 2 minutes? That's all?
Seems unlikely that anything untoward could have happened in such a short time.
Rats! I knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning. Sorry, Phoenix, but at least you didn't get in trouble. There were no other customers. So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim. I'm gonna press everything else and then I'll go back to that and get the other line, because I feel like that's where the right track is here.
Objection!
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice.
Huh?
You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee if you catch my drift.
But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. When he got well, he won la lottery. Monsieur L became very excited. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000."
Presumably the defendant heard that too then, correct?
Maggey? She looked like a poor little frightened dove. What about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat.
Seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
Approximately 5 minutes later, the poisoning occurred. And what were you doing at that point? Hitting the options button again. Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur. Sorry? What do you mean? There is la renowned chef Jean Armstrong and la tragic poet Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt, cooking for a man who won $500,000 on la lottery. It is called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court? Please don't. No, there was no time for a phony to do la acting. You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from la payphone.
By your own argument, right? The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed.
Bien, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas? I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggey have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act? I'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. Okay, so let's go back here. Instead of asking how many minutes, ask what time it was. Because I feel like that's probably where the actual answer is. Because... where is it? That's the ticket. Here we go. Experience the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life every Monday at 1:30. So if he says anytime after 1:30, something's obviously up. He comes out in for my coffee. I drank your coffee. It's special. Blah, blah, blah. Ask more detail. What time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday.
Crime was reported at 2:25 by a kind of scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after we arrived. The victim must have arrived between 2 and 2:10 p.m., no? Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it?
Glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. Just after 2. Will you say anything else if I press this? Are you absolutely sure about that? When I think really hard, I am sure it was just after 2. Oui. It's la time I stopped serving la lunch menu.
Wait, right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. Ha ha.
Guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch.
Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already.
Witness! Get on with your testimony, please! Another customer. Now see, I feel... Just after 2. Are you sure? Like, are you sure?
Objection!
I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. What? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be the show Monsieur Elg was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I am sure of it. I remember perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving la lunch menu. Get to the point, right, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. And it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. Unlike most of my first dates, am I right?
It's on the air at 1:30?
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum. Catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this fact. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Très Bien that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
Quite a performance, Trite. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this, Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imagined theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court, however, At the time, the real Glenn Elg was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? Missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glenn Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Ah! Phoenix, calm down. It's obvious. Jean was in on it, so he probably hid him in the kitchen somewhere.
Prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? That's okay. We got this. It's cool. It's cool, baby. Thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Phoenix, it's fine. Calm down.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elg concealed?
In the restaurant, because Jean was in on it. It would have been... It would. Hypo! It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. It's dangerous to take it outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Très Bien.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside the restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Très Bien is... in the kitchen. Body was hidden here.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Oh, we just got that. It's medication. Probably like in his pocket or something and fell out. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? Nova says, I don't know, maybe in the fucking walk-in fridge? Maybe. No. I've never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use la very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Très Bien. Quoi? I got an achievement. Jean's foreign language course. Learn all of Armstrong's fancy foreign words. That's probably like pressing all of his statements and listening to everything he has to say at any given point. I love that. That's hilarious. Apparently only 3.1% of people have done this. Probably because nobody wants to sit here and talk to him. But me, I am having too much fun listening to, doing the French voice. But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains medication.
What kind of medication?
Sure, everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elg visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results right here. The contents of the bottle that matched the prescription. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Glenn Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen. At which time, this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu! Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hit the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggey Byrde. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No! Damn, girl, caked up on a Thursday.
Order! Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elg?
Never! I could not do such an horrible thing!
No! Mr. Godot?
The bitterness. I still want to know how bro can chug coffee while screaming at me. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I'd like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I'd like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend? Pardon, please, you must hear me out. It is a trap, listen to me. Por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish.
I'm only gonna ask you once. Did you do it? No, absolutely no. Let's hear it. Got one shot, right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel.
It is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very well, begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
I feel like I make him sound like a fucking sad puppy or something. The confession. It is true, I hid la body in la kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced by who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elg died, was he really the only person at his table? There was... Oh. There was another man. I knew it. Maggey was telling the truth. Obviously.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. Gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. It is true, I hid la body in la kitchen. I got the achievement, but I'm still just being silly and I like his voice. I like doing his voice. Did you carry the body by yourself? Oui, I carried him. And I carried Maggey too. Maggey too? When she saw la victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
Why did you hide the bodies?
The man forced me to do it. I had no choice. What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him.
So why would you go along with this man?
I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. What reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur.
Yes?
Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. Aiden, you're a bit old to get away with that. And a bit too male. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it with evidence. But I did not kill him, I swear it, you must believe me. So you're claiming that all you did was hide the bodies, is that correct? Is that right?
If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this.
He's already confessed this much, he might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is. Then sock it to him, Nick. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, obviously. I had to go along with it. There was a reason I couldn't. It's the money.
Objection!
You have a $500,000 debt, don't you?
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak and I borrowed la money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong. La Tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On la day in question, he was meeting la victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried la body and la inconscient Maggey out of la dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say... Yep, there he is. The man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggey who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
"30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more." How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, tripe. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well, your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
To be continued. Damn, Godot, how are you gonna do that? I mean, he is an ungodly cool guy. By his own admission. By his own phrasing. He'll figure it out. But for now, we are going to call it here for the night. Because, frankly, if we're calling in the tiger, And I'm gonna have to do his voice. I think my throat will just completely give out on me if I do it tonight. Not like doing Jean's voice was particularly hard, or, you know, anything like that. I just... Listen, if we're being honest, if we want any entertainment value out of this, I need to prepare. Like, I need to make sure I've got... I need to make sure I can sit here and I can be like this. Uzius Collins and you. Like a slightly harsher gumshoe voice for an extended period of time. That's what we're looking at, right? That's what we're looking at when we're looking at dealing with the tiger. You heard it here, chat. Barista gotta prepare. Alright, calm down. It's okay, it's okay. So we're gonna do that over the weekend. By which I mean, you know, we're just gonna have a normal ass weekend. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out where to go. God. You know what? Yeah. Let's check that real quick. That's a cute little emote there, Nova. Did you do that in Emote Lab? Anyway. Yes. Good for you. So what we're gonna do... Nice. We are gonna go and hang out with Riri for a bit. She is playing Undertale for the very first time. So be nice. Don't spoil anything. If you do, I will throw you into the sun. I'm being joking about it, but the fact that she's gone this long and presumably isn't, like, spoiled on stuff. Like, good for her. So, go in. Be nice to her. Yes, Undertale. It's her very first playthrough. Like I said, no spoilers. We're just gonna go and have a good time. We always have a good time with Riri. Looks like she's in the middle of Hotland right now. BRB gonna go listen to the Undertale soundtrack for the rest of the night. Hey, Barista, have you heard of Updog? Yeah, I've heard of Updog, but have you heard of Good Fam? Yeah, I have. Okay, good. We're on the same page. On that note, drink plenty of water, eat good food, get some rest, take your meds, and we'll see you next time.